Hello and welcome to this session of iShare Connect. Today we are looking into optimizing invoice or eInvoice import with eInvoice mapping, a tool that we have in iShare. It's quite new, but we have a couple of years now improving it, using it in the Nordics, where eInvoice has been like the main way of transferring invoices from company to company. My name is Simon. I'm an advisor here in iShare. Luckily, I have meet a lot of your customers. I work with existing customers, trying to utilize new functionality in iShare and also optimizing. The last years, I've been working a lot with AI and also, of course, optimizing these e-invoices. So I'm very happy to having this session with you guys. We are recording. If you have any questions or anything, just let me know and I will make sure to answer it at the end. There will also be sent out a follow-up email with more information. Perfect. Okay, let's dive in. The agenda. First of all, what is an e-invoice? How does it work? And let's do a demo together. This will be a short presentation, but we will really get an overview. And as we know, we might need to look into these type of systems, customer to customer. Yeah. So an e-invoice is a file generated by the supplier accounting system. So it contains all the data that you're already receiving on a PDF, which you either receive as a by mail, on paper, or at the email address. But as this is electronic, we don't have to use this OCR where we interpret the invoice. A lot of you are using Capture, which is our OCR program. With this e-invoice, we don't need that. We just need to understand or map sort of where we find the data. And we will see more practical example of that later on. So how does it work? So first of all, it works as an exchange between the buyer and the seller. And we are instead of generating the PDF, submitting this to you, it was an e-invoice. We also know that in some cases the suppliers are able to provide both the PDF and the XML, the e-invoice. In those scenarios, we normally are able to provide both documents in iShare workflow, so you see them both. But again, the e-invoice will contain all the data, if not more. And it's also very practical for invoice lines, for example, where we can find the structure and the data there as well. Very good. We already have this functionality. What has been changing now is that we have added some solutions in regards to the transferring of these files, sending and receiving. Like in countries where they have this more developed, they have systems for this, all normally referred to as access point, where you just connect to that base and any vendor can send invoices to that access point, and then based on the organization number, and that will identify you as the receiver, and then the invoices will be routed back to you. So then they just, if they know that any of your suppliers or customers, sorry, any of your customers are able to receive an e-invoice, they can just say that, put this to this governmental access point, and then that system will route it to you. Okay, I think maybe it's easier to see. Yeah, so being there, we know that that's not something that all of our customers have access to, a system like that. However, we are now able to provide this through different options. So API, FTP or SFTP is both supported options. We do see that for this is something that we released this year, so it's not something that we have done a lot. Remember that from this type of systems, we need to make contact with each supplier that you intend to use this for, because we need to route it. So where the access point, we're able to route it to you. We need to make a connection between you and the supplier, the bridger, where we get the files. So this is the difficult part. This is also why in, for example, the Nordics, we will say, just provide an email to all your suppliers that you are able to receive on eInvoices. However, in cases where we don't have this access points, we would go more strategic. We see a huge potential here by just tracking down the 10, 5, 15, 20 volume suppliers in your system. We expect that that will give you a great relief in terms of document time handling time and also more accuracy. So they will also get more data quicker. Very good. At least there's also the possibility of using mail. We are not. Yeah, I'm a bit unsure how useful that option is, but we have put it there as it's. We believe that we can also do that. It's not something that I understand we will recommend. Okay, let's go to the demo. Share my other screen. Apologies. Let's go here. Hi again. Let's see if I'm able to. Perfect. So doing this is a 15.5 version. Most of this functionality was already in the 14 version. So if you are in the 14 version, you would have this possibility. No time to wait. This is a big demo environment. I'm just going to look into my invoices, and I do have 2 invoices here. This is a demo, and hello. Perfect. Let's try to switch. Navigation failed. I was logged out. Okay, so I will be back. Up and running. Perfect. Here we are. Okay. So a lot of details there. I will just cover some of them. Like with these documents, this is a Peppol invoice. So, okay. The supplier here is invoicing us by XML. So that is the electronic document that we have. I will show you as well how that is set up. So just bear with me a little bit. I will just have to open it up. One second. Okay, so I know this looks terrible. From when you get a hold on this gives you a lot of data, and you are able to find a lot of information in this, and we can map this. So all of these data that we see in black, we have some paths in it. The color is red, more or less. What we are able to do here is that we can structure this, so saying that we will look for a detail, we are looking for information in this particular path, searching for this and this information. And we can map this however needed. We can look for numbers, alphanumeric. We can use regex if that's familiar to you. So here you will find a lot of data. This is just based on the PEPL standard. We don't need the supplier to use a specific structure. We have, of course, we have some guidelines, and we also have a suggested template, which can be used, especially when trying to start this type of conversation with your suppliers. Yeah, but here I get a lot of information. So as you can see, this is structured like we get a lot of data here, which I refer to as the header information. And then at the end, we will start seeing some of the line items. So there's only one line on this, and we can see that this is signaled by line, invoice line. And here we have all the information. This was just named as a dummy. Okay. But I think it's important to just see that this is the structure that we get. Based on this, we normally are able to put up some kind of visualization of it. So this is standard based on the XML that we receive. We just create this. This template is not showing all the data that is in the XML, but it's giving you something to look at if they don't provide the PDF in addition. Okay, so this is iShare generated, and I'm sorry, this is, as I see now, in Norwegian titles. My bad. I don't have time to see if I can find another one. This is also, yeah, apologies for that. Again, I hope you understand that this is just invoice type, invoice number, date, your reference, and pay information. And then we have the products here. So at least I got the products in English. Yeah, and yeah, so also we will not cover that today, but as you can see, I'm using automatic coding based on invoice lines. So this is grouped in two different documents. I can see in the description which document has been grouped to which, and it's just different accounts. I'm sorry again, I think the counts here is in Norwegian. Yeah. So I just do like this, but here you can just bubble down and then you will get the data. So all of these documents were like this, and I can override saying that this particular one was actually also in the 6510, and then the system will understand that next time when we get the article of product A, it should be on the 6510. Great, and when I save now, it will update this data. Okay, that's for another session. What we are going to look at is actually this eInvoice mapping. I will find it here on the setup. Not all have access to this, but some of you will have. I will just have to go to another group, and here I have a demo that I will tell you. Okay, again, I don't want to based on this session, we do not expect that you will be expert in doing this. Like, I've been working with a lot of customers on this, and still after half a year, whenever we do changes, we just discuss it together to make sure that we are not creating some errors there. Because what we are doing here is that we are uploading these XML files, and then we can go through any field on the document. So if you are department structured company, we can look into the department on the document. This is the header information, and we can tell the system where to find that. So we can say that it should be looking at the party name, but we should also look at the buyer reference. Okay, we all understand that this is a PO number now, but let's say, for example, that this is not a PO number. We are actually looking for this 6-digit because that is our department. Then sometimes we get the 6 digits in this field. This is just a path. And what I will say here is digit only and digit only. As you can see, then the result is this. If I don't have the digit only, this will be the result, and most likely it will be a no match. Therefore, it's important to just not select all. We could also do regex, not replace, that is another function, but match with regex. So let's say, oh, I just need to D, and it should be 5, right? Oh, wrong field. Like this. D 5, so I'm telling the system that I would only like 5 digits. And then it gives me this value. The 0 at the end is a fault. We could also say, for example, that we would like to start with a number 2 and then having this, or as you can see, then it's not functioning. But if I go to 5, then I get 5 followed by 5 digits, so I get the whole. So this is what we do now. We are extracting data from the XML, and we are putting this into rules so that we can get all the data automatically, and yeah, instead of using capture or another OCR document system. So let's go back. Let's see if there's any question. I know that this is a lot of information. Please reach out if you want to discuss this in more details. First of all, I just have to look at the comments. So first of all, do you need to create a pattern for each supplier as in capture? Good question. So yes and no. No, you don't have to, in terms of if they use the same structure. If they use a different structure, then we need to create a new pattern for them. So as long as, so in what I have done here is standard mapping. This is just a general one. This will be used for all suppliers. I have not specified the supplier. Then I can exit this one and we can go to another one. Let's look at this one, for example. Oh, sorry, that was the same standard. I will look at this. So we don't have a name for this. This will be specific. Grafo, for example. This is based on the supplier. So when we have an invoice from this supplier, then the department should be letters only. So it's a change. Not sure if that makes sense, but we also have structure order number, finding the PO number, and order reference and buyer reference. We get this type. So then we can also list any other supplier that should have the same structure as this. But again, this is also relying on that they are invoicing on the same sort of path or with the same identification. So it depends on that, which in Norway is, or in Nordics, a lot of them are using something called PEPL. So if all of they have used the PEPL, then we are able to identify that and use the same on all. Okay. So there's some more. I just need to read through the comments or the questions. I do think that one of the questions here is how can we see that the details have been provided correctly? So again, we have this when the governments are creating this, like we are seeing the same in Poland now. they will also create like this type of system where you can control it. I'm not sure of there's a better wording for it, but you can easily just upload any document and then it will give you where is the errors on this one. So that is something that is provided for Peppol as well. You can upload any document and then you see if it's correctly put or not. However, what I tend to see that when we are not using that, when we are creating it from supplier to supplier basis, you just have to simply, one thing that you can do is just upload it to this one, because we will maybe create one for the different suppliers. Once that's been done, if we get an error, for sure the problem would be that it either ends up in error import or it goes into eInvoice depending on what is wrong. So if it's not able to find the company or something like that, then it will go to error import. If it's missing supplier, then we'll go to approval not started, as you are familiar with. So then we will get data there and we just have to investigate. But you can also upload any documents. Here I can upload the one that I just downloaded previously in this session. Uploading this, and then I can open that one up and I can click on show results and it will give me what data I'm finding. And also when I do this, I can look at this one and it gives me information. The path does not exist on this selected file. So on this XML, they are not providing with any order reference. Let's have a look at this one. It's there, but I'm looking for 6 digits and this is just giving me missing by reference, so it's no results. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, maybe this was before or maybe I was not clear. The question is, do eInvoice have an XML format that can be shared with vendors? And we do. We have this general one that we provide, which we see that can be used in scenarios where you are looking to implement such a solution and the dialogue then with the vendors to help them understanding what is our needs and how can we make this work best practice. Perfect. Very glad for today's sessions. Thank you for joining in. I think that's all for today. Make sure, yeah, I can share the other screen. As a final note, I will just gives you heads up on the next session. We will have a new session the 10th of December at 9 o'clock. Not sure, it will be some kind of end of year Christmas edition. So make sure to dial in and be part of this as well. If you have any questions regarding optimizing your solution, please use the supply portal and we are here to help. Thanks again, been a pleasure. Have a nice day and goodbye.